Let's think about data in terms of how it helps us understand both the current and the past situation. So, in a way, data is our insight into the way things are, or the way things have been, and the way things are travelling, so the kind of trajectory. Data involves inquiry. So the data, the information that you have, is never going to give you the answer. It's the questions you ask about the data that is actually the most important feature here. So it does involve inquiry, and then it involves some professional judgment. And that professional judgment is based on the evidence base that we have about knowing what works, how it works, and then being able to implement that. So data is then used, and we should have evidence of data being used at all levels in the organisation, in the school, to inform our actions. And so one of the features that you might see, along with the many things that you talked about at the very start of Bruce's session, is that what you will see in your schools as you are in the action improvement, achievement improvement zones, is that you'll see, no matter where you go in any of your schools, people using evidence to inform their practice and then reflecting on that practice with evidence. And then renewing, and so on and so forth. So we should see a culture where the use of data, both qualitative and quantitative, is a norm. And you would see that in a classroom, you'll see that in staff meetings, you'll see that in faculty meetings, you'll see that in the leadership group, that use and reflection of evidence is the norm. And that planning is done as a consequence of that evidence. So it's not reactive, it's not knee-jerk, it's thoughtful, and so on. So they're the sort of practices that I would imagine that we would see as your work continues to advance and progress. So the leadership challenge then is, well, how do you have high-quality, detailed performance feedback within your organisation? And we know that that is a necessary part of a highly effective organisation. Now, I've been very, very heavily influenced by the work of Roger Goddard, and I don't want to sort of keep throwing new terms in, but I'm going to. This notion of collective efficacy, and many of you will have heard me talk about this before. And there's a lovely little article by Roger Goddard that I think we really should put up on the Achievement Improvement Zone. It's a very easy read, and for those of you that were with me at Lawn, you certainly read that. And it talks about what we can do to build an organisation with high collective efficacy that recognises it can tackle the challenges ahead. And in a sense, this is what I think we're trying to do, is that we are saying, yep, to use a well-known phrase, yes, we can. So what we're trying to do here is to create this sense of efficacy, or collective efficacy, within each and every one of our schools in this work. And you would have heard the term teacher efficacy. This is the sense that as a teacher, I have what it takes to help these kids improve their learning. I have the resources, I have the knowledge, I have the skills, I have the support, I have the environment to be able to make a difference here.